Guys, thank you very much for having us here today.
No problem.
I know a lot of fans are very excited, but Canada is very, very excited as well. When the Beatles went on their hiatus, it ended up being kind of an extended hiatus, they left the world with Abbey Road. And they kind of served two purposes. It was their swan song in a lot of ways. But if you listen back, it really ended up being kind of a love letter to their fans. And the songs that I've heard from this record kind of reminds me of that love letter to fans. Does that how it seem to you?
Yeah, I think for sure when you look at songs like History, it's all very based on what's happened over, you know, the time we've been in this band, which has been the most amazing 5 years for all of us. So yeah, this album's definitely based around the idea of thanking the fans and giving something back to them. And it's the kind of music we've always wanted to create. It's a nice eclectic mix of different songs, like Olivia's So Crazy, and then you've got ballads like Love You Goodbye and different things like that. But History's the main track, and Made in the AM, I suppose, as well, is just saying to them how this felt for us over the last 5 years as well. And it's, you know, that's what this gig's about today. It's a huge thank you to everybody who put us here.
Yeah, you know, Adele recently said in an interview that the reason she took so long away from music is because she needed to give her fans kind of a chance to miss her in a lot of ways, which I imagine you guys relate to. What do you want to come from this hiatus, personally and professionally?
To feel rested.
It's a bit of self-realisation as well, because obviously a lot of things happen very quickly in our world at the moment. You know, we kind of need to stop for a minute to think of how great things have gone for us, because sometimes, you know, we've bypassed a lot of successes that we've seen have been amazing but not managed to celebrate them properly. And I think this is the time for us to relax and go, wow, what a crazy journey that was, and you know, then we can get back on the horse later on.
The horse.
The horse.
The horse?
Riding the bull.
And these are some of the last shows you guys are going to be performing for a while. I mean, we're here today.
Yep.
Fans are very, very excited for that. The AMAs are coming up.
Yep.
Are you looking at these last couple of shows differently than you might have maybe a year ago?
I mean, I think maybe there's definitely an element of that, but I think in general we've always tried to kind of do everything the best that we can. I don't think that's changed because, you know, I don't think that changes because we're going to have a break or anything. I think if anything, it just makes us want to give more.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we're going to be away for a little bit, then, you know, kind of finish with giving something good to remember us with, you know?
You know, when you think about 5 albums in 5 years,
it's insane.
It's an insane amount of music to release. It's almost more insane in retrospect.
Yeah.
What do you think the next 5 years look like for One Direction?
I think on the statement saying we've made 5 albums in 5 years, there's a lot of people in our crew to thank for the quick turnaround of how we made the music and stuff. And, you know, obviously we've literally pumped a different record out every year, which has been amazing for us, and that's what we love doing. I mean, the next 5 years, we didn't really know what was going to happen with these 5 years. We didn't know where we stood in the world or anything like that. So, you know, we're not pretty good at planning. We kind of just let things roll and go with the timing of the world, I guess, and life.
I imagine you're probably looking forward to your life not being scheduled for a while as well.
Indeed, yeah. That's part of the reason why we're doing it, yeah. Indeed. It's going to be nice to not be able to not have to set an alarm or something.
Yeah, looking at the day sheet before you go to bed going, what's on tomorrow?
Yeah.
Kind of, you just get up in the morning and roll out. And I think that the main thing is to rest a little bit and have a holiday from this, just to, you know, sit back and enjoy our family. We've missed our family so much for the last, you know, I'm really going to enjoy time. I'm sure you boys are as well, sitting with my family. Even like having little arguments with your family, you kind of miss that as well. It doesn't happen. You always see when everyone's so happy and in great places. So it's nice to, you know, sit and we can talk about what's happened.
You know, when you look back on the last 5 years, for the 4 of you, life has changed so much. And it seems really emotional for you guys being back here because this venue itself has, you know, historical significance for your band. When you look back on the last 5 years, what comes to mind?
Crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just been, you know, it's been amazing for us. You know, there's been ups and there's been downs, and I think the most amazing thing about the whole thing is that with all of that considered, I don't think any of us would change any of it. You know, we've been very lucky to have, you know, the fans that we've had are, and continue to have are just incredible, and, you know, have continuously surprised us over 5 years. Every time, you know, there's something where you think, if we're away for a little bit and you're kind of like, well, are they still, you know, kind of, and then they're just incredible every single time. And that is what this album is about, like you said. You know, it is kind of a love letter to them, I guess, with a lot of the songs. I think the nice thing about it was that the last couple of records were, you know, we knew that we would be touring in these big places for a couple of years, So we wrote a lot of the albums trying to make these big anthemic songs, and this time it was nice to just write a group of songs that we love, that we thought that they would love, and kind of give it to them. And that's what it is. That's for you.
When you guys look back on the history of groups, one of the criticisms, or I guess one of the things that can go wrong for performers or for groups is things happen too fast. And performers cannot handle it. One of the things I think about when I think of the last 5 years, you guys have handled this remarkably well, all things considered. No, you really, really have. How did you do that?
Well, that's the thing about this. Yeah,
having each other was good,
and that's the most important thing. And we've all been through similar situations that have been hard for us. So there's always somebody to talk to in the band who, you might have gone through a breakup or whatever's happened in your life, and you can remote with each other. Because we're the only people who know what this feels like, and that's you often think about, if I was a solo artist, I don't know how I would do it. So that's what's made this a lot easier for us with how speedy the world's gone by.
And as Harry said, the backing that we've always had from the fans, we've always had that support from them. Even something as silly as when we do our tour shows, we've all fallen over on stage quite incredibly. Right. But you don't worry about it because you know that as something as small as that they're there for you, and they just want to laugh with you, which actually is a really nice thing.
Yeah. Fantastic, guys. Well, I thank you, Canada thanks you, and come back and see us.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Good to see you guys. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Cheers.